Hey guys, this is Daniel Aldie. I'm happy to see you guys, and it's a good day here today. I am in Ashburn, Virginia, very close to Washington, D.C., and I am in the kitchen. Now, I have a lot of places that I could be, but I chose the kitchen because today we're going to talk about how to set your goals. And I know that this kitchen is one of my biggest goals that I ever wanted when I was starting out. And, we have a double oven. Imagine that. Actually, three ovens, technically. I have an amazing stainless steel and mahogany combination with granite. And I don't take it for granted. I'll tell you that. Pun intended. And I want you guys to understand that you can have anything you really want if you work for it. Like you have to work for it, but there's a misconception of how people believe that they have to work hard at something in order to achieve it. And it's true, you have to work hard, but you have to be able to understand what that work actually means, what kind of results you're actually producing. And if you're joining me right now, I want to thank you because this is a big, momentous opportunity for you to learn how to set your goals. Now, I've been setting goals for a very long time, and I have a lot of techniques I can share with you today, but I'm going to keep it really short. It's only going to be about 30 minutes or so, and I want you to have the understanding of what you need to do if you want to accomplish your goals. Look, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what your profession might be. It doesn't even matter if you're a multi-billionaire or you're a student or you're a mother, single mother that has 12 children and you're barely making ends meet, whatever it is. My friends, these goal setting techniques, the mindset I'm going to be sharing with you could absolutely change your life. It can revolutionize everything you're doing, and it can shape your mentality. You guys always know what I say. If you can change your mentality, you can change your reality. And I firmly believe that that is possible. If you don't know my story, I'm going to share it with you really quick. I was born into poverty, grew up extremely in poor conditions, lived in basements with roaches and rats, went to so many different schools, actually had to go through metal detectors, just highly confused about my life. In my teenage years, I was a failure in school, went from job to job. By the time I was 21, I had dozens of jobs, always desperate for change, never knowing what to do until at the age of 21, I decided to read some books, and it changed my life. The first book I read was the Bible, and I never looked back. And every day I've been reading that book and many others, and I can tell you I've written my own books. I've written 3 books. I've reached millions of people, and I've been able to have tremendous opportunities all around the world to meet very successful people in every walk of life. I've coached so many people, from the very lowest, homeless people that just got out of prison, to the very highest, people who are A-list celebrities, people that are multi-millionaires, people that have accomplished their biggest goals but even want more. And today, I want to focus on how you can prepare yourself for 2019, because goals are the navigational system to get you to your destination. And if you know exactly what you want to accomplish, then accomplishing those goals will help you to get there even faster, because I really believe that intention plus direction equals perfection. If you know exactly which direction you're going and you have the right intentions in going to that direction, then that leads to perfection. That leads to you having a tremendous opportunity to learn from the best and to be able to have that focus and that clarity, because clarity is a key to success. And anyone who isn't clear on their goals cannot accomplish them. They cannot figure out where they're going to go because they're all cloudy. I hear so many people, they're like, Daniel, I want to get into art. Daniel, I want to sing. Daniel, I want to dance. I want to speak. I want to write. I want to create. I want to be a doctor, an architect, a lawyer, an engineer. And then they tell me that they have backup plans, or they don't know about school and they don't know about this or that. And all I hear is confusion sometimes. And the fact is that the confused mind always says no. You see a kid walks into a candy store, the kid sees all these options, all these candies. Most likely they're either going to shut down or they're going to go and try to get everything that they see in front of them. But if that kid sees 3 options that he really likes, he's probably going to pick at least one if his mother tells him, you know what, go after one. And if that's good enough, then you could probably get the second or the third. But the fact is that so many people, they try to pursue so many different things and they want everything, but they don't accomplish anything because they want it all. And you have to be able to find out exactly what it is that you want and wholeheartedly focus on that one thing. So we're thinking about 2019, and I want to ask you, what's that one thing that you want to accomplish? If you could pick one thing in 2019 for the next 12 months that you can focus on wholeheartedly, what would that be? All right? Because if I was setting goals, the first thing I would do is I would write it down. I would figure out exactly what it is that I wanted. For me, I wanted to be able to share my message with people. I didn't know I was going to reach millions of people so fast. But my first goal was just, read at least one book every single week. And then I raised it to 2 books a week. And I wanted to reach at least one person every single day. And I knew that the first person I would reach was me. I was like, if I could just reach myself and help myself, by maybe a workout, maybe by asking my teachers, my professors questions, and, just searching in life and finding answers, that one person was me. And then eventually I was like, hey, if I could reach one person a day, then it eventually became 5 people a day, and then 10, and then 20, and then 50, then 100, then 1,000, then 10,000, 100,000, and now we reach millions. So imagine that. It starts with one person. That one person is you, but then once you begin to get a grip on what you want to do, then you move on to other people that you want to serve. So I just want to hear where you guys are from. So, comment in the section, and I want to know. I see people from Turkey, Saudi Arabia. I see people from England, India, Nigeria. I see people from Canada. Of course, a lot of American people because I'm in America. The thing is that it doesn't matter where you're from. What it matters is where you're going. It matters what you do with the opportunities you have. If you live in a poor country, look, you can make the best of those opportunities. You can find something entrepreneurial enough to serve other people in your vicinity, but it's up to you. You choose how you want to serve those people. You choose if you want to make money. You choose if you want to live your destiny, if you want to live your purpose, because your purpose is greater than you. And a lot of people, they might not know what their purpose is. You might be saying, okay, Daniel, well, I hear this purpose, this passion, I want to live with this zest, this zeal, but you might not know exactly what that is, what that means to you. And so I want you to know that purpose is all about finding out exactly what God is calling you to do. Because if there's something out there that you can absolutely change, it could even be something that's bothering you, right? Something that it has been out there. Maybe it's the roads. They're not as fixed up in your area as you want it to be. And you live in this country and you know that you can be the person that can design those roads and build a foundation in your area. And that's your purpose. Then go ahead and do it. I found my purpose once I discovered that I was going to school and I wasn't learning the things that were necessary for success. I wasn't learning how to set my goals correctly. I wasn't learning how to make decisions or speak in public or even count money and all these major things that were so important. We never learn about time management. We never have vocabulary classes, but we hear all these words. We know that time is important, but we never hear a math formula depicting that 168 hours is what we have in a week. And so I said to myself, these kids are graduating. They're expecting a $50,000 to $100,000 a year job in our business school. I went to Penn State University, but they don't even have they don't have basic life skills. And I found that I didn't have life skills, so I was determined to learn it. And so I set my own goals and I determined to go out there and figure out exactly what I needed to do by first figuring out exactly what I need to know. And so right now I'm going to share with you several goals that you can set for yourself. I'm going to list about 10. I would say pick at least 5 of them that you would like to pursue And you can do anything you really want. I mean, these are just guidelines. This is just a perspective. Maybe you have some of these goals. Maybe you want to change it for your own convenience. Whatever it is, it's up to you. The first thing I have to tell you before you do it is to understand that write your goals down, because a dull pencil is better than a sharp mind. If you write your goals down and you impress your subconscious mind, then you're going to put the intention out there in the world that you actually want to accomplish it. And so supporting that accomplishment, you have to have vision boards. You have to have whiteboards. You have to have certain things that show you a visual image of what it is that you actually want. And when you focus on what you want, you'll absolutely achieve it. So it's one thing to be inspired, but it's another thing to take action. A lot of people, they just get motivated, they feel that high, and they never take action. They never make it happen. And so make sure you make it happen. Make sure you take action. The first goal I want to set with you are books. All right. If you understand how important reading is, then you would try to read at least one book every single week. Now, some people will say, Daniel, does audiobooks count? Of course. If you watch 10 TED Talks, you could probably count that as a book if you want. For me personally, I really like books. I listen to audio programs and audiobooks all the time, and I count that sometimes. But for me, I'm talking about hard paperback, hardcover books. And if you read 50 books and you notate how many books you're reading on a monthly basis, let's say you get 6 one month, 8 one month, 4 another month, 5, and so forth. What matters is that you accomplish that goal within a 12-month period. And I keep a tally mark system that I really believe that you guys could use. I mean, I've used this method with all of my coaching clients, all the people I work with, and it absolutely works. And so what I do is I list on a whiteboard, 5 or 6 goals that I would want to accomplish. And then I would write 50 books and then break them down: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, so forth. And I would make sure that I would tally mark those books and make sure that I'm actually keeping myself accountable to reading those books. Now, what kind of books do you read? I would say read nonfiction books. I'm not going to say novels aren't good, but reading nonfiction books on a subject that you want to study will help you, because books are the tools that open up the heavens of your mind. And, I've written 3 books. In fact, I'll show you right here, these 3 books. I wrote these in my early 20s. You Are the Boss. I know a lot of you guys have read this one. The Winner's Lifestyle, and The Abundance Mentality, which is the 3rd book I wrote, which is more recent. And I can tell you, I'm coming up with more books. I'm writing my 4th book right now. So stay tuned for that one. But the fact is that books will give you that leverage. It will give you that understanding of what you need to do. So I would say 50 books. If you have a really busy schedule, go for 25. That means you're reading about 2 books a month. If you're extremely busy, maybe you have kids, you have family, you have all these things going on, I would say the minimum is at least 1 book every single month. But it's totally up to you. If you feel like you can handle more than 50, maybe you want to go for 100, 120, 200, it's up to you. But 50 books, I believe, is the starting number for all professionals that want to be successful. The second thing that I would say to focus on are speeches. Now, there's a lot of things that speeches could do for you. I believe that speaking is the foundational piece that helps you to become successful. I've seen billionaires, I've seen very successful people, even musicians. They can sing in front of thousands of people, but they are afraid when it comes to give a speech, when it comes to giving a speech. And sometimes that's crazy. I don't think a person, and this is just my perspective, I don't think a person can really become a success without learning how to speak in public. And I've given over 1,000 speeches publicly, and I was a failure when I started. I was mumbling, stuttering, stumbling all over the place, and barely even introducing myself in front of one person, let alone 1,000 people. And it's not easy to speak in front of 1,000 people. I'm not saying go ahead and do that right now, but speak in front of 5 or 10, right? Try to start with your family. Try to start with friends. Try to start at Toastmasters. You can go to toastmasters.org. You can go to a local Rotary Club if you have one. There's Chamber of Commerce's, there's churches, there's all kinds of places you can go. But by the way, shout out to you guys. I see you in the comments over there. But speeches, for me, I used to drive 2-3 hours, 4-5 hours even, to give free speeches to people that sometimes really wanted to hear me, sometimes people didn't want to hear me. But I would recommend giving 50 speeches. That means one speech a week, one speech a week. At the minimum, I would do one speech a month, which is 12. So keep it between 12 and 50. When I decided that I really wanted to take it to the next level, I gave over 200 speeches. How do you give 200 speeches in a year? Well, you have to get coaching on that if you really want to learn. So my friends, speeches, I believe, is the greatest way to develop yourself on a personal and professional level. You meet so many people, you learn so many things, you master your body language, you master the ability to speak as you continue to learn about other people, how to answer questions, how to listen, how to field Q&As, question and answers. And it just puts you in such a great position to learn more about yourself than anything else, I believe. The third goal you can set for yourself, I would say, is starting a blog. And this is optional. This is just a fun one. For me, there was one year I wrote over 100 blogs. I was writing for Fortune, Time Magazine, pretty big magazines, Huffington Post. And, I was reaching millions of people this way. And it was, for me, an opportunity to get better at writing. I'm not saying you have to blog about personal development or success or money like I did. You can blog about gardening. You can blog about parenting. You can blog about cooking. It's totally up to you. But for me, writing one piece a week was essential. I still, I write poems to my wife every single week. So if you write poems, one poem a week. If you create songs, one song a week. If you are a real estate agent and you can sell properties pretty quickly, one house a week. It's totally up to you, but you choose that number. So blogs was something that I did. If you want to learn how to become a creator, producer, and you want to work on your writing skills, I would say that blogging is one of the best things to do. Number 4, I would say, is start a YouTube channel, first of all, if you can. Do 50 videos. I mean, it could be on Instagram, it could be on YouTube, it could be on Facebook, it could be on LinkedIn, it could be on whatever platform you feel comfortable with. But creating videos for me it's fun. I mean, like, I created this year so far over 200 published videos. I created more than that, probably 300. I have some of them coming out soon. I have some of them that I published on different platforms. But you guys have to figure out what you want to do and be able to produce the kind of content you believe your audience really wants to, consume from you. And speaking of consumption, you can either consume or produce. You're either a producer or consumer, right? You either eat the pizza only or you make the pizza, but obviously makers get to enjoy the pizza as well. You can write the books or you could read the books only. I would say become a producer. If you want to become wealthy, if you want to start something big, if you want to become an entrepreneur, become a producer, not a consumer. So 50 videos, that's like one a week. I mean, 3-minute videos, very simple. Hold the camera up and say, hey, this is Daniel Aldie. I got a quick message I want to share with you. Here are 3 things I learned about business. Patience, sales calls, closing deals, taking notes, whatever it is. You can write anything about anything and talk about it. People really want to hear the message that you share. I talk to people from all walks of life. Like I said, I was talking to a police officer recently, and I said, you have so much that the world wants to hear from you. And, people, they fear police officers, but if they had just heard her and she can get a video out there reaching thousands of people, imagine the impact she would have, the stories she would share. And it would just be an amazing feeling and experience that a lot of people would enjoy. Another thing that you can do is luxury days. And luxury day is basically focusing on what you really want to do to learn about wealth. And so in the inception of my kingdom, my empire, I really wanted to learn about wealth. I grew up in poverty, and I would go and I would test drive Rolls Royces. I would go and I would look at multi-million-dollar mansions. I would go and I would look at museums and, take my lady out for a nice date, a nice dinner. And sometimes, I'd have $50 in my pocket, but I would spend as much as I could to get a feel of what it would be like to stay in a 5-star restaurant. Even if I just had to get, an appetizer or two, I did whatever it took. And sometimes you'll learn, if you go out like that, the bread will fill you up alone. And the appetizer is just like, cherry on top. Just the extra taste, and it gets you in the restaurant. It gets you to see and experience the feeling that you would have. I walked into stores like Nordstrom, for instance. I was so intimidated to buy from there. Now I've spent thousands of dollars at Nordstrom in the last 2 weeks, alone. And this was a store I was just afraid to walk into. And now I'm shopping there like one of their favorites. I probably spend more money than anyone there at the Nordstrom where I live. But the thing is that, like, you never would think, like, when you walk to a store, that you can actually afford it until you walk into the store. And then you see the price and you're like, wow, $1,000 for that jacket, $2,000 for that watch, $5,000 for that ring, or $50,000. You're like, you try to fathom that. And then you go out there and you actually experience it. You try it on and you see, hey, you know what? I can do that. I remember the first time I looked at my Mercedes, and I thought to myself at first, I'm like, this is too expensive. And then I was like, what are you thinking? You can't think like that, Daniel, anymore. This is the old way of thinking. This is how, my family had raised me. Ancestral training made me believe that it was impossible, that it was only for a certain group of people, and it wasn't for me. And then I had to test drive the car again and again. And finally, on the fourth time, it was mine, right? Did it happen within a week or a month? No, it happened within a year, though. And I worked steadily toward that goal, and I achieved it. So luxury days are just one day, once a month. You can do it, once a week if you want. 50 luxury days. That would take a lot of time, though. And just go out there and experience, right? Go to a nice shopping center, that place that you might not even be able to afford. Go out to a fancy place, a fancy restaurant, a fancy hotel, and experience. You might have to pay a little bit, but go out there and get a feel for what it's actually about. So if you have more questions on that, just let me know. Luxury days. Another thing you can do are dates. 50 dates. Once a week, you go out with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe 50 friend nights. You hang out with your friends. 50 family nights, right? You want to make sure that your relationships are intact. So you have to be scientific with this approach. A lot of people don't realize that success is based on scientific approaches more than haphazard approaches. You don't accidentally become successful. You become successful because you apply yourself. You understand that, hey, look, I have someone in my family. I have a spouse. I have a friend. I have a business partner that I have to give my time to, because time equals love. And so you monitor these relationships by holding yourself accountable and saying, you know what, I got to hang out with my spouse at least 8 hours in one shot once a week. No phone, no texting, nothing crazy, right? You're going to pay attention to this person, look them in their eyes, and give them your full attention. And if you practice this over several years, your relationships are going to be exactly where it wants to be. You're not going to attract random people in your life. You're going to attract people that are wholehearted, people that actually want to do business with you, people that actually love you because of who you are. And that's really how it works. So 50 dates, 50 family nights. Maybe you have some kids. Maybe you have parents you want to take care of. You want to get together and have everyone working together. Maybe even if your family lives far away, you want to call them once a week, right? 50 calls a year. And then, like I said, break it down on a monthly basis. I hope you guys are keeping up. I know I'm talking about a lot of things, but I think you got this, right? So the next thing I would focus on is workouts. Your body is a temple that God lives in. And I work out 5 days a week, and I can tell you 250 workouts in a year is a pretty good number if you can reach it. At the minimum, I would say go for 150, which is 3 workouts a week. But it's up to you. If you want to do 4 workouts a week, go for 200. But anywhere from 150 to 250, even up to 300. If you're a professional athlete, you might need to do 300 or more. Sometimes people work out 2 or 3 times a day. I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's up to your judgment. You say to yourself, what do I want to do? And figure out a workout regimen that works for you, right? If you need to work out Monday through Friday at a certain time, then make it happen, right? If you want to make sure that your workouts are defined in a certain way, right? You say, hey, 45 minutes, that's the workout. 90 minutes, that's the workout. If I don't run 3 miles, it's not a workout, right? You set the parameters and you decide how you want to pursue that goal. I can throw in some fun ones. I could say another goal you can set is how many times you want to cook. When I first started cooking, I wanted to cook at least 3 times a week. So I set a goal to cook 150 times a year. I easily exceeded that. I think it was like 200 and something, but you get to choose, right? If you want to cook, if you want to take a day to garden, if you want to, take your kids out somewhere a certain number of times, you get to choose. Another goal that I set for myself, and remember, guys, you don't have to set all these goals. You pick and choose, but I hope you're taking notes so that you can keep up with some of them that you would like to pursue. Another goal that I personally pursued was conferences. I would attend conferences at least once a month. And, I would say that attending at least 4 conferences a year is really going to help you stay in shape. It doesn't have to be industry specific. It has to be focused on your success. It could be a part of your industry. It could be a part of your business, your profession. It could be something completely outside of that. You can go to a conference about relationships, a conference about your religion, a conference about, customizing your own house. Whatever it is that you want, you choose. But for me personally, I went to over 12 conferences in my first year. And now I'm speaking at conferences, so I get to meet these people. I don't really have to attend as an attendee. I'm backstage with the big guys actually talking and sharing my message of truth and love. So think about that major goal that you want to accomplish. Try to put a number on it. If you want to hit $100,000 this year, go for it. $250,000, that's fine. Aim for something big. If you're making $50,000 right now, and you want to get into business, and you really believe that you can reach $100,000, then go ahead and do it, right? What's stopping you? There's nothing that's stopping you from getting that way unless you stay at that job and don't do anything outside of that one stream of income. But maybe even picking up a second job and some side hustles, can help you get there. If you say, I'm going to make $100,000 and you make 82, don't get mad at yourself. Right? That's better than what you made before. If you made 50 and you make 82 now, but you're aiming for 100, next year you'll get it, right? Next year you might hit 110, right? Or 120, whatever it is. You could set a goal for $1 million. You might feel like, hey, far away from that. You might be making $200,000 a year, but you set a goal for $1 million because you have a business that can produce cash pretty quickly. And so you work that business, and you throw everything you have, you throw your whole entire savings into investing in yourself, investing in your business, and figuring out exactly what you need to do to make $1 million, right? You hire employees, you read the best books, you go to the best conference, you surround yourself with the right people in the right places with the right attitudes, and who knows, right? You can reach it by next year or the year after, but setting that goal will help you get there, right? So I say aim high. If you're aiming for $1 billion by next year, but you have no plan of getting there, you don't even know what your purpose is, there is such a thing as being unrealistic. If you set a goal to $1 billion, you might get afraid, you might get discouraged, and you might not even want to pursue that goal anymore. You might say to yourself, it's too high, But if you never made, $10,000 and you say to yourself that you want to make 100,000, that's fine, right? You can do that. If you know people around you that you see all the time that are making 100,000, go for it, right? Or if you're making 100,000 and you really believe that you can hit 300,000, then go ahead and aim for that goal. Go for 500,000 if you want. If you make $1 million and you really believe you can hit 10 million or 50 million, then go for it, right? Do whatever you believe is right within your heart. Check your heart before you start. You remember, when the mind is ready, the money will come. When you know where you're going, you're going to get there. So today I shared with you some goals that you can set. Obviously, I can talk so much longer on these subjects. There's so much more I want to say, but you guys have heard that I have a program called the School of Wealth. And this is a 12-month mentorship program, life-changing. It is the best personal development program you can ever invest in this whole entire world, bar none. Like, there's nothing out there that's better than this. It's the most comprehensive business and financial course you can ever find. I'm going to talk about how to earn, spend, save, invest, give, how to, create your own business, how to set up your own foundation. Goal setting, I go so much deeper than this. I have templates, I have formulas. You can email me on a monthly basis, up to 3 questions. If you have a 4th or 5th question, I'll take it. We even do one actual call, one-on-one, me and you, and it's pretty valuable. 60 minutes. I'm going to figure out who you are. You're going to send me a bio in advance and explain who you are. We're going to talk about it. We're going to set goals. Or maybe you already know what your goals are and you want to learn how to get to that next level. Then I got you. It's easy. I coach a lot of people and I see a lot of results. My success rate is 100%. Because everyone who works with me, they know that I can help them and I end up helping them. If I don't think someone is cut out to be a success, then I just reject them. That's just how it is. The School of Wealth, if you've seen it before, is $3,000. And by the way, I will include my 3 books, The Abundance Mentality, You Are the Boss, and The Winner's Lifestyle, which is an amazing book. So these 3 books will be included in the offer. I will also include The Ultimate Advantage, which is 6 CDs, almost 6 hours long. This is amazing right there. I'll sign them for you. I'll send it to you. You can listen to them in your car. I also have a digital link for The Ultimate Advantage. And I also have a 12-week success program that comes along with this. We're talking about 6+ hours, 12 modules, subjects that you highly need to work on, to develop. I'm going to show you things you don't even know. You don't know things I wish my mentors told me, things I wish my pastor, my professor, my parents, they told me, but they never did. And I love my parents. I love my pastors and my professors and all those people that helped me out in my life in the very beginning. But I can tell you that there's a certain point where you have to grow, where they cannot help you as much as you really want them to. So, my friends, the School of Wealth is usually $3,000. But because Thanksgiving is coming up, because the New Year is approaching, Christmas time is coming, I'm doing it for $1,000. And for the first 50 people that sign up, you're going to get this price and you're going to get the call. I can't do the call. I can't do more than 50 calls with more than 50 people in the next few months. So what I want you guys to do is to sign up really quickly. It's at danielalley.com. Go to the School of Wealth and use the code YES to get started, right? I want you to say yes to yourself, because if you invest in yourself, everyone else in the world is going to invest in you too. But you have to believe. You have to believe that you can succeed. You have to believe that you're going to accomplish, even if it seems like it's impossible. You have to truly believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, everyone else is going to believe in you in the whole entire world. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. No one has ever succeeded without having a mentor. You look at the greatest athletes, the greatest celebrities, the greatest politicians, the greatest anybody, multi-millionaires and billionaires. There's no way I would have got here without a mentor. I was first afraid because I didn't know, but I'm telling you, when I got my mentorship, it changed my life. I remember I even sold my car, and I knew that it was the right thing to do. I knew it was the right thing to get started with someone that actually knew what they were doing. Sometimes we surround ourselves with default friends or people that we see in our life at the grocery store, at the gym, at the at church, at work, at school, and we think that these people are going to help us. And we find that they have the right intentions. They want to help us. but they provide the wrong directions. They don't know, right? You tell the average person you want to become a multimillionaire. I mean, they're making $70,000 a year. They're making $150,000 a year. They're going to tell you can't do it because they haven't done it themselves. So you have to surround yourself with someone who's actually done it, someone that's actually doing it, someone that's actually living the life. I mean, I have more bedrooms than I need. I have more bathrooms than I need. I told this guy I have, all these bathrooms over. He's like, why do you need all this? I'm like, well, I have employees, I have contractors, I have family, I have people that come by, I have future kids that I'm about to create. And, I want you guys to have wealth because everything you want is already out there. Success is all for you. Money, clothes, food, houses, cars, jewelry, everything you want is already out there. They're at the stores, they're at the library, they're at the malls, they're in all these places, but you have to go and test drive them. You have to go and try it out. You have to go and taste them. You cannot be stuck in this enormity of conformity, not believing that you cannot do it. There's so many people, they're like, be realistic, be realistic, be realistic. You can't go this place because Uncle Tom tried to do that business and he failed, so you might fail too. No. Guys, you're talking to Daniel Aldie, the master motivator. We're talking about the king of personal development, the ordained preacher of success. You're talking about the emperor of YouTube gurus. I'm telling you guys, study, practice, teach, learn from the best, learn from the person who's actually doing the thing, right? Don't listen to the people that are cursing, the people that are lying constantly. Listen to yourself, listen to your heart, and ask yourself, who do I need to align myself with? If you're ready to work with Daniel Aldie is ready to work with you. My friends, this is Daniel Aldie, of course, and check me out, www.danielaldie.com. Leave some comments in the section below. This live event will stay up for several days. I'm going to tell you straight up that after Black Friday, Monday the 26th, Cyber Monday, this deal is completely over. I'm never going to offer the School of Wealth for $1,000. If you need payments, I can do that for you. I can split it in half or even thirds, but I won't deliver the call until all the payments are made. So I don't do it for everyone, but I'll do it for you. I know some people are students. I know some people, they might have some financial struggles and they want to make a change and they're like, oh, I only have $900. Just whatever it is, do whatever you have to do to get into the School of Wealth. Sell your TV, sell your fish tank, sell your couch, do whatever it takes. I'm telling you guys, you have to be hungry for success. My friends, this is Daniel Aldie. Be committed to yourself, be committed to who you're becoming, and be committed to your success. My friends, I look forward to seeing you in the future, and I look forward to helping you accomplish your goals. So check you out very soon. And this is my first live event. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.